I was like, man, what better way to celebrate 1 year going all into my business than going back to the restaurant I used to work at and buying out the restaurant. That was my whole idea. I wanted to buy out, sign the whale, and just throw a big old networking event. Like have 150 people, like something massive, like really, I don't know, just something crazy for real. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Walk to Wealth podcast. If you're tuning in on YouTube or any of the podcast directories, make sure to do yourself one tiny little favor and make sure to give us a follow because I don't want you to miss out on any of the amazing episodes I got coming out this year. Without further ado, I've been slacking a little bit with this series, but for those of you guys who are new or just need a quick refresher, I started a series sharing with you guys the backstory behind all the different events I've thrown. I've thrown, I think, 7 events so far, and this was by far the most expensive event that I've thrown. The most complicated event I've thrown, and one of the most fun as well. I had a great time. And so this was my first annual summer kickoff event. So this is the second to last episode in the series. In the next episode in the series, I'm teaching you guys how to throw your very first event. But let's talk about the summer kickoff. So June 19th was the original date, was the date I put in my 2 weeks at my restaurant job to go all in on my business. And so since then, it's been hard, but that's a story for another day. But anyways, I was like, man, what better way to celebrate 1 year going all into my business than going back to the restaurant I used to work at and buying out the restaurant. That was my whole idea. Like that was my vision. I wanted to buy out, sign the whale, and just throw a big old networking event. Like have 150 people, like something massive. Like really, I don't know, just something crazy for real. And around let's say early 2024, maybe around February, I started thinking more and more about this event, and it was going to be something that I knew I probably couldn't pull off myself. But I still wanted to do something. I want to do something big. Like the idea was to do something big. Like I couldn't just throw a little get together and be satisfied. Like I wanted to do something I could be genuinely proud of. And so I started talking around to people, and I ended up sharing. I reached out to one of my guys, TJ, and now I hit up TJ. I'm like, "Yo, bro, can I do a free AI presentation for your brokerage or your mortgage company or both?" Right? And he was like, "Yeah." We started talking about it, and then I don't know how the conversation kind of switched towards like other things that I'm doing, but I told him about the summer kickoff that I was doing, and at the time I didn't know what I was going to call it, a summer kickoff. Honestly, I just wanted to put something together to celebrate, me being 1 year all in on my business. And he was down, and he's thrown events before. I've been to several of his events. We met at one of his events, and he's thrown dope events. I'm like, all right, dope. This is the help I need. This is like what's gonna help me turn this event into like something bigger than I could do all on my own. And so with this event, oh my goodness, this is around March. Now my event was June 19th, which is a Wednesday, and this is around March when me and TJ first talked. And then a couple weeks have passed, and then from there, around April is when we started working together for real to like actually get something going because it was a busy time for them. And then meanwhile, my friend M, she's an event planner. So without M, none of this would have been possible. Like I promise you, like nothing would have been done. There would have been zero event had it not been for M. Like me and her did like majority of everything. But we started getting together, and this event, oh my, there's so many moving pieces. This is the first event where I had to really like see what it takes to be an event planner because there was so much. So we actually ended up creating a budget, me and M. And so here what our budget was, it was gonna be for the venue. Originally we were reaching out to sign the whale and for a buyout, and then at that point in time it would have been like close to, after taxes and gratuity everything, it would have been close to maybe like 21,000, 22,000 if I'm not mistaken. And like I don't got that type of money. And so that's something where I was like, a little nervous, but like, I was banking on like TJ and like him being able to bring a crowd and pull some strings too. So I thought it was possible. Long story short, we ended up having a pivot. So now me and M, we're looking for other venues. There's this other venue that was gorgeous on the south side of Stanford. Joint was like 30,000, and that's before any gratuity or anything. Venue was nice, But like 30 bands for a venue is crazy to me. And that's before like gratuity and everything. So it was just like, oh my goodness, that was gonna be a lot. So that was definitely at the picture. And then we were trying to find other venues, but really couldn't figure one out. They brought up one in potentially Norwalk, but then I was like, I really don't want to drive up on 95 during rush hour. Like traffic is bad here in Connecticut. And then when they mentioned something about Fairfield, a dope venue, but I was definitely not gonna go to Fairfield. Like that was gonna be too far, especially for a lot of my audience. I don't know if that would have been able to get them to go to Fairfield. So that was the hard part. So we ended up finding this nice venue that I didn't even know existed for 27.50 for 3 hours. Now this venue didn't include anything. It was just literally just the venue. So that was perfectly fine for me. And we're going back and forth. And it's almost impossible to get in communication with these people. But we're going back and forth, and they said we need event insurance. Now I didn't even know that was a thing. So then I had to hit up my boy Fabian and get event insurance from him, and like that was a whole brand new process. I didn't even know like people requested event insurance, and they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna have additional insured and all this other stuff and liquor liability and all this stuff that I didn't know what any of it means." I had to look up it immediately after she spoke to me. But we ended up getting our event insurance, so that ended up costing about 350. It's 364 to be exact. Now it probably would have been cheaper, but I told him it was gonna be like 150 people, and it ended up being only like 55, which is still a great amount of people, just not what I originally planned. Anyways, back to the venue. So the venue, they ended up not having anything. We just had the space, which was great and all, because 2750 plus 3600. I mean 36 364 comes out to almost like 3100, a little around there. I mean, yeah, 3100 ish. That's way cheaper than 22,000 or even 33,000. I think the other venue came out too. So I was like, perfect, that's fine. It was a beautiful venue right in the center of downtown. So I was like, boom, all right, we got that set. Next thing on the plate, right? We had to get catering. Now we originally budgeted for 2,000. We've spent 880 and 94 cents, which came out like mainly because there was way less people than expected. But like, yeah, we saved a lot of money there, and the food was dumb good. And here's the best part: like everyone telling me was how good the food was, but I didn't even get to have any of the food because I was just so busy like trying to make sure everyone else was having a good time. Then also I talk a lot, so like when they were passing out food, I was like mid conversation every single time. Um, so I missed out on the food, but we had to go grocery shopping, buy all the food. We went to a couple different grocery stores to get everything, and then fortunately, one of her, I think sisters-in-law or something like that, was a caterer, and so her has experience catering. And so, boom, that was super easy to find somebody. We didn't have to go, try and vet people. That was super someone that we already knew both personally, that knew how to cook, has experience cooking for large events like that, and everyone loved the food. Like that was amazing. I think we had like empanadas, skewers, like a flatbread pizza, some like taco thing. If I'm not mistaken, was it shrimp taco? I forget, but yeah, there was literally no appetizers left. And the 880 94, that was for the catering services and all the groceries we bought. So like that was super good and within budget. So we were happy about that. Then for alcohol, we budgeted $1,000. We ended up spending 674.46. Um, Now for alcohol, we ended up doing we're gonna have open bar for everyone. So we're gonna have margaritas, and we had a couple different flavors. I think we had mango and was it strawberry if I'm not mistaken? Mango and another flavor if I'm not mistaken. And margaritas, and then beer and wine. And of course we had water. So I guess that doesn't really count under I think we counted that under alcohol if I'm not mistaken. But but yeah, everyone at the event was only drinking tequila. I mean, margaritas. Some people were drinking tequila on the rocks, which we should have not let happen because we ended up running out of tequila, and then we ended up having it more mid-event. But yeah, that was. We ended up not having anyone. I think we had one bottle of white wine opened, and then the rest, the red wine, wasn't even touched. So like that was something that like what the f, right? Like you couldn't really have flan for that. Everyone's having a good time though. Everyone loved the drinks. And we had to pay for bartenders, so we ended up paying $500 for bartenders. Budgeted for 500, and we spent 500. It was 250 each, and then whatever they made for tips, they kept, right? And they were both two really good bartenders. One is was one of the managers at Sign the Whale that I worked with, and then the other one was one of my good friends that also worked at Sign the Whale, and so we had two experienced bartenders that both are known for their drinks that like you couldn't ask for more, right? That made everything so much better because I already knew them. It wasn't strangers. Like one of the best things I did with this event is I didn't hire everybody that we hired was people we knew. Just like it wasn't any third parties or like other companies coming in. Everybody we knew, the caterer we knew personally, right? The bartenders we work with both of them. We had people passing out food and stuff like that and serving slash busing. We budgeted 300. We ended up spending 350. Reason being is because I said we also know them as well, but they came early to help set up and stayed extra late to help clean everything up and close them and bring it back. So like that was super super clutch. So I don't even mind paying a little bit extra for that. Um, and then from there, um, DJ, we ended up spending $300 for the DJ. Dope. A great guy. His name is Groove. Um, he was really cool dude. I got to talk to him mid event for like 20, 30 minutes. Really good, a cool guy. So no complaints there. I wish they would have played. Honestly, for being honest, I wish they would have played some more R&B music. I personally hate house music personally, but I was just like everyone else was having a good time, so as long as everyone else enjoyed. But for me personally, and I need some hip hop, some rap, for me, some R&B. Like try to have the function jumping. Like and for house music, it's more popular than hip hop and rap and all that stuff. But like for me personally, just personal preference, like I hate house music. So I wish we would have had like more like even like some Caribbean music, some so with some more flavor to it, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, decorations we ended up spending 602.66, and then our total event we budgeted. We thought I was gonna spend right around $8,000 our budget, and we ended up spending $6,422.06 to be exact. Now the reason I'm sharing all this with you is because events can be a very expensive game. Normally, like all my events, like I'll just have to pay for the beer and wine, and like I'll go to a restaurant and it's like you know whatever people pay, get that's what I'm paying for. There wasn't all this extra fees and all these extra things. And with ticket sales, we had I think about 55 or something like that. We ended up being a negative 1,042.06, which isn't that bad. When you split it two ways, we came out of pocket like five something each, right? So that was ended up being my most expensive event I've ever thrown. But like, if you've seen the event recap on my Instagram, like that event went so well. We had people checking, doing check-in as well. We had people doing. We had someone. He had a portable photo booth business, and so he just happened to have it in his car. So he pulled it out of his car, and boom. So people were able to take photos. As I said, we had my boy Christian and his friend Sebastian um, doing the videography, the drone work, and the photography. Photos came out fire. Event recap video came out fire. Um, so that's another thing with like events. Like I was out that morning, maybe 8:30 a.m. up until 8:30 a.m., 9 a.m. I think we stopped at Michael's. I think by 9 we're already at Michael's. From 9 up until 7:30 mid event. So 9 in the morning up until 7:30 mid event. We were getting stuff that whole day trying to prepare. Like it was a whole lot of work, a whole lot of things we had to do last minute. And by thanks to everyone that helped, by like 7:45 I had to got my first margarita and got to enjoy my own event. Like a problem with a lot of these events is when you're hosting, sometimes you forget to actually enjoy, and then you try to tell yourself like, yeah, but everyone has to I had a good time, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it does, because like who wants to throw an event and not enjoy the event? Like, yeah, you want people to enjoy it, but like you're not doing all that just to have more work for yourself. Like you want to enjoy what you put together as well. So I ended up getting to enjoy the event. After the event, we ended up going to a local bar. not too far over. Probably hung out for another hour, hour and a half. It ended up being a great time. Got to meet a lot of dope people. In terms of promotion, shout out to everyone that helped promote. We were tagging people on social media. Of course, I was sending out emails to my email list, texting people. Only thing I didn't do, which I should have, is made some phone calls to invite people. But yeah, it was a lot that went into putting that event. Me and M were stressed, like trying to put everything together. But as I said, we pulled through. Ended up being a great time, and I think it's something I'm gonna do every year. That venue was like super dope because I don't know anyone that's even thrown an event there, and a lot of people were telling me that they never even knew that that was a venue. Like that was brand new for them. So it was just like you got a couple extra bonus points for the uniqueness. No one ever knew that that was an event. So I'm like I'm putting them on or something here in Stanford, and so that was ended up being a look nice, cool little flex factor. Like yeah, I'm the first guy to throw a big event here. Yes, at least first person in the our like entrepreneur, at least my entrepreneurship business owner network to throw an event there. So that was really dope being able to put that together. And then afterwards, just seeing all the photos and how happy everyone was and all the good things that everyone was saying about it, like I couldn't have asked for more. And so even though that was definitely the most stressful event I put together, the most expensive event I put together, it was all worthwhile. Like I would not have it any other way. I wish I would have had more time to plan it. Like if I knew from the jump I was gonna do it at that venue, I probably would have done some things differently. But like I'm excited for that's an event I'm gonna do every year. Like that's a staple I gotta do. I just gotta do every year. Like boom, we putting together, a freaking the summer kickoff, and every year celebrate 1 year of me, going all in on my business, and also I'm not sure if it's gonna be on Juneteenth again. Depends whatever one Wednesday or Thursday that year is. I can probably check right now. Let me check right now here live. Let me check right here now while we're all live. So next year, so for you guys listening, if you guys are in the New York tri-state area and you're willing to make the drive to Connecticut, June 19th next year falls on a Thursday. That's a beautiful day to throw a networking event. Boom. Yeah, so it looks like June 2025, June 19th, Thursday, 2025, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The second annual summer kickoff. Mark the dates right now. We're doing it. I don't care. Next time's going to be even bigger, even better, more lit, more vibes, more good people. But yeah, as I said, this is one of the events I got to actually enjoy myself. It was such a great time. Definitely going to do it again. And one of the things I learned this event that I've never done before is adding annual just makes things sound more professional, like way more professional. And so that's definitely what I'm gonna be doing. Adding annual to everything. And then what else did I learn from this event? Um I learned a lot in terms of like event planning. There's so much, but now I got people that I have connections. So like for next event, I'm not gonna have to struggle to look for catering or struggle to look for anything. I'm like I have all my pieces in play. Now we're just like boom. And like right now, I'm currently planning an event for my birthday, um, and that's like I had literally don't even have to think about it. Like I already know it's boom, boom, boom. I'm doing it at Sign, which is the restaurant I used to work at, and booking the venues I've done it in the past before, so now I don't even have to think about it. So all I have to worry about is promoting and getting people in the door, which should be pretty easy. But that's all for this episode. In the next episode, I'm gonna teach you guys how to actually throw your very first network event, how to host your first networking event, so that you can start making building a community in your local area and start getting more known, and hopefully turn that into more business. That's all for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one.